I had a very naive romantic fantasy that if I could learn to build guitars, I could escape the rat race and have my cabin in the woods, and musicians would beat a path to my door. My name is Roger Sadowsky, and I'm from New York City. My career in guitars started for me at the end of my junior year in college back in 1960, let's see, it would have been 1969, and I attended a folk festival.
I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket for my destination.
I really enjoyed not only the music and the people who like that kind of music, but the instruments as well. So I got my first guitar right after that, and I started to teach myself to play guitar, stuff like Simon and Garfunkel and Gordon Lightfoot. And so I was what we call a folky finger picker. After that, I went to graduate school. I was working on a PhD in psychobiology and doing experiments and brain surgery on rats and all that kind of stuff. But I became obsessed with guitars, and I couldn't stop thinking about the idea of making guitars. So I spent about a year writing to guitar makers all over the world, trying to find someone who would take me on as an apprentice. And I finally found a guitar maker in New Jersey by the name of Augie Laprinzi, who was making acoustic guitars. And so I worked with Augie for 2 years, building acoustic guitars, learning my skills. After that, I took over the repair department for a well-known music store near Philadelphia. And then in '79, I came back to New York City, which is my home, and I started my own shop. Basses really took off, and so even though I never set out to be a bass maker, that's primarily what I do today. We do about 70% basses and about 30% guitars. One of the things I brought to the field of guitar making is the understanding that electric guitars and electric basses, they still are acoustic guitars. The ones that sound better acoustically, in my opinion, are always the ones that sound better through an amplifier. So there used to be the idea in the '70s that the wood didn't matter, that it was all about the pickup and the bridge and the hardware, but I don't believe that at all. And I think the wood totally affects the sound of the instrument. And even if the listener can't hear it, the player can. And it affects how the player plays, how he interacts with his instrument. I have designed a line of models for my guitars and basses over the years. And within each model, we have options of wood choices. We have pickup choices, we have hardware choices. And so within that menu of options, people can pick what they want. I'm happy to give my suggestions and my advice. I made a decision a long time ago that I wanted to keep my business small enough that I'm always dealing directly with the player. I didn't want to have a larger factory where I'm selling to music stores. I want to discuss what we're going to make with the player. I want to deal with the player when he gets the instrument. I want to deal with the player down the road when he has any issues that we need to address. So For me, it's all about having that one-on-one relationship with the person playing my instrument. And that's the satisfaction. A guitar by itself, it's an inanimate object. It can't tell you that it loves you. It can't tell you that it made a difference in their lives. The true heart and soul of what I do comes from the interaction with the person who plays the instrument. It's not an easy way to make a living. And so I followed my passion. You know, I think anybody who's in any type of arts or crafts, you do it because you have to. You don't do it because you've decided this is a good way to make a living. But I've been doing it now for 44 years. I still love what I do every day. And I consider myself very fortunate to have not only been able to make a living, but employ 8 or 9 other people and help them make a living as well. I think the golden age of guitar has, in a way, it's behind us. A lot of the new music doesn't even need instruments anymore. It can all be done with computers and synthesizers. I'm really unsure what the future is going to be. All I know is I don't want to retire. I want to drop dead at my workbench one day when I'm old, and I just want to keep doing what I do as long as I possibly can. One of the highlights for me personally, in terms of knowing that I've accomplished my goals, was at the end of Paul Simon's Graceland tour. I had probably 8 guitars on stage between Paul, the 2 South African guitar players, and the bass player. And that was the moment, seeing them in Madison Square Garden at the end of that tour, that I really felt that I had made it, so to speak. And I could say, as if everybody knows what I'm talking about. As if everybody here would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds on the soles of the shoes.